Welcome back to the English Learning Podcast. I'm your host, Henry, and I'm so glad you've joined us today. Whether you're listening at home, on the bus, or during your morning walk, we've got something really exciting to share with you. Today, we're going to talk about 6 simple but powerful daily habits that can help you become more fluent in English.
That's right, Henry. And hey, everyone, I'm Sarah, your co-host. Fluency doesn't happen overnight. It's more like a marathon than a sprint. But the good news is, small, consistent steps every day can get you there faster. And that's exactly what we'll focus on in this episode.
Exactly. These aren't just random tips either. These are practical, tried and tested habits that have helped thousands of English learners all over the world improve their speaking, listening, vocabulary, and overall confidence.
Plus, we'll share a few of our personal experiences and stories to keep things fun and relatable. So, if you're ready to build these habits and take your English to the next level, stick with us.
And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, so you never miss an episode. Now let's jump right into the first daily habit that can seriously boost your fluency. All right, let's dive into habit number 1. Practice speaking out loud. Now this might sound simple, but it's one of the most effective ways to build fluency. And here's the key. You don't need a speaking partner to practice this habit. You can do it anytime, anywhere, by yourself.
Exactly, Henry. A lot of learners think they have to wait until they find someone to practice English with, but that's not true. Speaking out loud, even when you're alone, helps you get comfortable forming sentences and improves your pronunciation. It's like giving your brain and your mouth a workout.
Right. Imagine this. You're walking around your house and instead of thinking in your native language, you start describing what you're doing in English. For example, I'm making breakfast. I'm frying eggs. Now I'm pouring some coffee. It sounds simple, but it makes a big difference over time.
That's such a great tip, Henry. Another fun idea is to talk to yourself about your day. Maybe at the end of the day, you could say, "Today I went to the gym, then I worked on a project at my office, and after that, I had dinner with my friends." It helps you practice the past tense naturally.
Yes. And here's a little hack. Record yourself while you're speaking. This can feel awkward at first, but when you play it back, you'll notice your pronunciation, intonation, and any areas where you can improve. Plus, it's a great way to track your progress.
Definitely. And don't worry about making mistakes. That's part of the learning process. The more you speak, the more confident you'll become. You can even try shadowing, which we'll explain in habit number 4 later. It's all about getting comfortable with the sound of your own voice speaking English.
Exactly. And if you want to take it to the next level, you could pick a short video or podcast clip and try to repeat what the speaker says. That's called shadowing, and it's super effective. But even just talking to yourself while cooking, cleaning, or getting ready in the morning will build that fluency muscle.
So, to sum up habit number 1, start speaking out loud every day, even if it's just for 5 minutes. Describe your surroundings, talk about your day, or practice common phrases. And if you're feeling brave, record yourself and listen back. You'll be amazed at how much this small habit can help.
That's right. Speaking is like any other skill. The more you practice, the better you get. All right, ready to move on to habit number 2.
Let's do it.
All right, on to habit number 2, listen to English daily. Now this habit is all about surrounding yourself with English. The more you listen, the more your brain starts to absorb the rhythm, pronunciation, and natural flow of the language.
Exactly, Henry. And here's the thing. It doesn't have to be boring. You don't need to sit down and listen to formal lectures all day. There are so many fun ways to add English listening practice to your daily routine. For example, you could listen to English podcasts, like this one.
Yes, listening to us counts. But seriously, whether it's podcasts, audiobooks, songs, or even watching YouTube videos, the key is consistency. Even 10 or 15 minutes a day can make a big difference.
That's right. And here's an important tip. Try to focus on active listening. That means paying close attention to what you hear, instead of just having it on in the background. You could listen while cooking or exercising, but try to really focus on the words, the pronunciation, and how sentences are put together.
Yes. And if you're wondering what to listen to, start with something that matches your level. If you're a beginner, maybe start with simple podcasts or children's stories. If you're more advanced, challenge yourself with news reports, interviews, or documentaries.
Another tip is to listen to the same thing more than once. The first time, you might not catch everything, and that's okay. But the second or third time, you'll notice new words and phrases, and it will start to make more sense.
Absolutely. You can also follow along with subtitles or transcripts if that helps. Many podcasts, including ours, provide transcripts so you can listen and read at the same time.
And don't forget to listen to different accents. English is spoken all over the world, and there are so many different accents: American, British, Australian, and more. Getting used to different accents will improve your listening skills even more.
So, to sum up habit number 2, listen to English every day, even if it's just for a few minutes. Be consistent, focus on active listening, and mix things up with different types of content and accents. Over time, you'll notice your listening skills and your overall fluency improving.
That's right. Listening daily helps you get familiar with how English sounds in real conversations, and it's a great way to learn new words and phrases in context.
Exactly. All right, that brings us to habit number 3, which is all about building your vocabulary. Let's get into it. All right, moving on to habit number 3. Learn 5 new words every day. Vocabulary is the foundation of any language. The more words you know, the easier it is to understand others and express yourself clearly.
Exactly, Henry. And here's the good news. You don't have to learn 20 or 50 words a day to improve your English. Even learning just 5 new words each day can add up over time. Think about it. That's 35 new words a week and over 1,800 words in a year.
That's a lot of words, and the key to making this habit work is learning words in context. Instead of just memorizing a list of random words, try to learn words that are useful to your daily life. For example, if you're interested in cooking, learn words related to food and recipes.
Yes, and try to put those words into sentences right away. Let's say you learn the word delicious. Instead of just memorizing it, use it in different sentences. This pizza is delicious. I had a delicious breakfast this morning. By doing this, you're more likely to remember the word.
That's such a great tip. And there are so many ways to learn new words. You can use flashcard apps like Anki or Quizlet. You can write the words in a notebook, or even use sticky notes and put them around your house. Imagine seeing the word window. Every time you look at your window, that word will stick in your mind.
Exactly. And here's another tip. Review the words you've learned regularly. It's normal to forget some words, especially at the beginning, so reviewing them helps you reinforce your memory. You could make it a habit to review your words at the end of each week.
Yes, and don't forget to practice using the words in real conversations. Whether you're writing in your journal, talking to a friend, or even speaking out loud to yourself, try to use the new words you've learned. The more you use them, the faster they'll become part of your active vocabulary.
That's right. And if you're not sure where to find new words, you can pick them up from things you're already listening to or reading, like podcasts, news articles, or even TV shows. Whenever you hear or see a word you don't know, write it down and look it up later.
So, to sum up habit number 3, learn 5 new words a day in context and make sure to review and use those words regularly. It's a small habit, but it can have a big impact on your fluency over time.
Absolutely. Building your vocabulary is one of the fastest ways to improve your overall English skills, and it's something you can start doing right now.
All right, that wraps up habit number 3. Next, we're going to talk about habit number 4, which is one of my personal favorites, shadowing. Let's get into it. All right, it's time for habit number 4, and this one is a game changer for improving your speaking and listening skills. It's called shadowing. Have you ever heard of it, Sarah?
Of course, Henry. Shadowing is one of my favorite techniques for improving pronunciation, fluency, and even confidence in speaking English. For those who aren't familiar with it, shadowing is when you listen to someone speaking in English and try to repeat exactly what they're saying at the same time, like you're their shadow.
Exactly. Imagine watching a video, listening to a podcast, or even playing a short scene from a movie. As the person speaks, you try to repeat their words as closely as possible, copying not just the words, but also the rhythm, intonation, and pronunciation.
That's right. It might feel a little tricky at first because you're listening and speaking at the same time, but with practice it gets easier, and it really helps you sound more natural when you speak English.
Yes, one of the reasons shadowing works so well is because it forces you to focus on how English sounds in real conversations. You're not just learning the words, you're learning how native speakers actually use them in sentences.
And you can practice shadowing with almost any kind of audio. If you're just starting out, you might want to begin with short clips, maybe just 10 or 15 seconds at a time. Listen to the clip, pause, repeat what you heard, and then try shadowing in real time as you get more comfortable.
That's a great tip. And don't worry if you don't get it perfect right away. The goal isn't to sound exactly like the speaker on your first try. It's to keep practicing so you can improve over time. You'll notice that your pronunciation, your fluency, and even your confidence will start to get better.
Absolutely. And remember, you can choose audio that matches your interests. If you like sports, shadow sports interviews. If you enjoy movies, try shadowing short scenes from your favorite films. This will keep your practice fun and interesting.
Yes, and another tip, start by shadowing at a slightly slower speed if needed. Many video platforms like YouTube let you slow down the playback speed. Once you get the hang of it, you can gradually increase the speed until you're shadowing at a normal pace.
Great point, Henry. And don't forget to pay attention to more than just the words. Notice how the speaker uses stress and intonation to emphasize certain words or express emotions. This will help your English sound more natural and expressive.
Exactly. So, to sum up habit number 4, shadowing is all about listening and repeating in real time. It helps you improve your pronunciation, fluency, and listening skills all at once. Start with short clips, practice regularly, and have fun with it.
That's right. Shadowing might be challenging at first, but if you stick with it, you'll be amazed at how much it can improve your spoken English.
All right, that wraps up habit number 4. Next, we'll talk about habit number 5, which is all about writing in English to boost your grammar and vocabulary. Let's get into it. All right, moving on to habit number 5. Keep a journal in English. Now, you might be wondering, how does writing in a journal help with fluency? Well, it actually helps a lot.
Exactly. Writing forces you to slow down and think in English. It's a great way to practice forming sentences, using new vocabulary, and even improving your grammar. Plus, it's a habit you can do at your own pace. No pressure, no audience, just you and your thoughts.
Right. And the best part is, you don't need to write long essays or complicated stories. You can start simple. For example, at the end of the day, write about what you did. Today, I woke up at 7 a.m. I had breakfast and I went to work. Even short, simple sentences can make a big difference.
That's such a great point, Henry. And once you're comfortable, you can start adding more details. For example, instead of just saying, I had breakfast, you could write, I had a delicious breakfast with eggs, toast, and a cup of coffee. This helps you practice describing things in more detail.
Yes, and here's a fun tip. You can also use your journal to set goals or reflect on your English learning journey. Write about what you're struggling with, what you're improving on, or even new words you've learned that day.
That's a great idea. And if you ever feel stuck, you can use journal prompts to get started. For example, you could write about your favorite hobby, your dream vacation, or your plans for the weekend. The important thing is to just keep writing.
Exactly. And here's another tip. Go back and read what you wrote after a few weeks. You'll be surprised at how much progress you've made. You might notice that your sentences are getting longer, your vocabulary is expanding, and your overall confidence is growing.
Yes, and don't worry about making mistakes. This is your journal. It doesn't have to be perfect. The goal is to practice and get your thoughts down on paper or in a digital journal if you prefer typing.
That's right. So to sum up habit number 5, keep a journal in English. Start with simple sentences, add more details as you get comfortable, and use it as a tool to track your progress. It's a small daily habit that can have a big impact on your fluency.
Absolutely. Writing in English every day helps you improve your grammar, expand your vocabulary, and think more naturally in English. It's a powerful habit, and the more you practice, the easier it will become.
All right, that brings us to our final habit number 6. This one's all about connecting with real people and practicing your English in conversations. Let's get into it. All right, we've made it to habit number 6, and this one is super important. Join an English-speaking community. Now, we've talked about speaking, listening, and writing in English, but nothing compares to real conversations with real people.
Exactly, Henry. Language is all about communication, and the best way to build your fluency is by actually using English in conversations. When you join an English-speaking community, you get to practice in a real-world setting, which is one of the fastest ways to improve.
That's right. And the great news is, you don't need to move to an English-speaking country to do this. With the internet, you can find English-speaking communities online, like language exchange groups, English forums, or even social media groups.
Yes, and if you prefer in-person conversations, check out your local area for English meetups, conversation clubs, or cultural events. You might be surprised at how many opportunities there are to practice English in your own city.
And here's a tip. Don't be afraid to take the first step. It can be a little scary to join a group and start speaking in English, especially if you're worried about making mistakes. But remember, everyone in that group is there to learn and improve, just like you.
That's so true. And making mistakes is part of the learning process. In fact, when you practice with a community, you'll get helpful feedback, encouragement, and motivation to keep going. It's a really supportive environment.
Exactly. And here's another tip. Look for communities that match your interests. For example, if you love reading, join an online book club where people discuss books in English. If you enjoy gaming, look for English-speaking gamers to play with. When you're talking about something you're passionate about, it feels less like practice and more like fun.
Yes. And remember, consistency is key. Try to participate regularly, even if it's just a quick chat or a short post in a forum. The more you engage, the more natural English will start to feel.
And if you're not sure where to start, there are plenty of great platforms out there. You can try apps like Tandem or HelloTalk to find language exchange partners, or join communities on platforms like Reddit, Discord, or Facebook.
Absolutely. And don't forget about virtual conversation classes. There are lots of options where you can join small group lessons or one-on-one sessions with English teachers and other learners.
So, to sum up habit number 6, join an English-speaking community, online or offline, and actively participate. It's one of the best ways to build your confidence, improve your fluency, and connect with people from around the world.
That's right. English is more than just a subject. It's a global language that can open up so many opportunities. By practicing with others, you'll not only improve your language skills, but also build meaningful connections along the way.
Exactly, and that brings us to the end of our 6 daily habits for fluent English. But before we wrap up, let's do a quick recap. All right, we've covered a lot today. Let's do a quick recap of the 6 daily habits that can help you become more fluent in English.
Great idea, Henry. Here's a quick summary for our listeners. 1. Practice speaking out loud. Talk to yourself, practice in front of a mirror, or speak with a language partner to boost your confidence and fluency. 2. Listen to English daily. Surround yourself with English through podcasts, music, videos, or news. Active listening is key. 3. Learn 5 new words every day. Expand your vocabulary by learning new words in context and using them in sentences. 4th, shadowing practice. Improve your pronunciation, intonation, and fluency by listening to native speakers and repeating what they say in real time. 5. Keep a journal in English. Write about your day, set goals, or reflect on your progress to improve your grammar and sentence structure. 6. Join an English-speaking community. Practice real conversations by connecting with others online or in person and engaging in discussions.
Each of these habits might seem small on its own, but together they can have a huge impact on your English fluency over time. The key is to be consistent and to make these habits part of your daily routine.
That's right, and remember, you don't have to be perfect. Making mistakes is part of learning, and every little bit of practice helps you get better.
Exactly. Start small, stay consistent, and celebrate your progress along the way. You've got this.
And we're here to help you every step of the way. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe to our podcast and leave a comment. Let us know which of these habits you're going to start practicing.
Thanks for listening, everyone. Keep practicing, stay motivated, and we'll see you in the next episode.
And we're here to help you every step of the way. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe to our podcast and leave a comment. Let us know which of these habits you're going to start practicing.
All right, we've covered some fantastic habits to help you become fluent in English. But before we say goodbye, we just want to remind you that language learning is a journey, not a race. The more you practice, the more progress you'll see.
Absolutely. It's all about consistency and finding what works best for you. Everyone learns at their own pace, and there's no one-size-fits-all approach. So don't be discouraged if you don't see immediate results. Small steps every day lead to big progress.
Well said, Sarah. And remember, we're here to support you. If you ever need advice, resources, or just a little motivation, don't hesitate to reach out. We're all in this together.
Exactly. If you liked today's episode, make sure to subscribe to our podcast so you never miss an update. And if you have any questions or suggestions for future episodes, feel free to leave a comment or message us. We'd love to hear from you.
Thanks again for joining us on this episode of the English Learning Podcast. Keep practicing your English, stay positive, and most importantly, have fun with it.
Take care, everyone, and we'll see you next time.